Remember when Arnold Palmer touched your life, touched your heart, and please don't forget why.
Arnold, even though you are the king, you made everyone feel like royalty in your presence. We love you.
The game of golf may have lost Arnold Palmer in 2016, but his legacy lives on. Over recent weeks, Golfing World have spoken to the people who knew him best. His family, his friends, and those whose lives he touched without even meeting them. As his grandson, few people knew Arnie better or have more to thank him for than Sam Saunders, himself a PGA Tour player.
As a child, he was my granddad. I knew he played golf. I knew he was a popular man, but I didn't quite understand how important of a figure he was to not just golf, but to the world. And later in life, I started to understand and appreciate his fame. But as a child, you know, I just looked at him as my granddad that played golf, and I knew he was gone a lot and traveled, so we didn't spend as much time with him. But when we did, he was always just a pleasure to be around. As a younger kid, I wanted it to be Sam Saunders, Arnold Palmer's grandson. It was actually Arnold Palmer's grandson, Sam Saunders, and I think maybe it bothered me a little bit when I was younger, but I certainly take it with a sense of pride now, and it's unavoidable. He is such an enormous figure and something, you know, I'm never going to be able to match his golf career, and certainly not his public or I guess I should say his business career in golf as well. So for me, it's about carrying on that legacy and doing what I can do to represent the family well. And the fact that I have an opportunity to play golf on the PGA Tour and at a high level is certainly a good place for me, I think, to represent him going on and the family name and tradition and all of the great things he was able to accomplish in his career, especially with Arnie's Army and the hospitals down there in Orlando and the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Those are all things that I want to be involved with and really carry on, because I think they'll you know, be a big part of my life.
Golf records are falling before the clubs of Arnold Palmer in the British Open Championship at Troon, Scotland. Palmer appears calm and collected as he rests up for his final afternoon round. The American is a hero to British youngsters.
I think my grandfather came along, I think we all know it was like a perfect storm. He was the right guy for it. He had the character, the personality, he had the looks, and it was certainly the right time. TV was happening, and he came out and became successful, and in the way he interacted with the fans and the media on the course and the way he made it look fun out there, it drew a lot of attention, and it made people interested, and they wanted to watch him play. And then the relationship that he developed with Mark McCormick and this idea that you could market sports and that we weren't just guys out there competing for a purse, that we could actually be entertainers. And that's something that I think he recognized, that and really he made. The PGA Tour, the European Tour, really professional golf and professional sports in a big way. The fact that, you know, the endorsements and the sponsors and the contracts that are out there now, they wouldn't be there were it not for him and the big three. My grandfather's passing was a whirlwind experience. It was not expected, actually. I was playing in the Web.com final events and decided to take some time off for some family reasons, and I was actually right here at home and got the call from my dad. I knew my grandfather was going in for some surgery, but it was certainly a surprise that he had passed. And there was something about it in the days that followed. I kind of began to grasp what a big deal this was, and not just because I was sad about it, but because what he meant to so many people and the effect that this had on golf and really the whole sports industry. So I felt the need to become involved. I felt the need to be a representation for my family and do the things that my grandfather had taught me to do. And he always told me to be tough, and a lot of people have been very gracious to come up to me and tell me how wonderful the service was and compliment me, and very humbled by that. but I know I would not have been able to do it were it not for the lessons that he taught me and the fact that he told me to take care of my family. And I knew that's what he kind of meant by that, because he knew that it was a lot to handle, and there would be a lot of so many different things from different angles coming in about it. And I was very, very happy to be able to be there with my family, and it was a remarkable service, and so many great people came and paid tribute to him, and it was a special day that I know I won't ever forget, and many people won't. I always enjoyed the time that I got to spend alone with him, just the two of us, selfishly, because it was hard to get any time alone with him in a way, because he was so popular and he was so good about giving people the time of day. So just the times that I was able to spend down in the garage at Bay Hill or up in Latrobe working on clubs with him, and the fact that he was able to tell me, just the two of us up alone in Latrobe one time, he told me that he was proud of me for becoming my own man. And he just told me to be my own person. He said, play golf your own way, develop your own system, and the golf will come. And that advice I'll cherish forever, because he didn't want me to try to emulate him in a way. Even he wanted me to be my own guy and figure it out on my own. And he gave me a lot of good advice. But then, as I mentioned at the funeral, actually, and I think about this all the time, especially with everything that goes on in the world today, he always told me to just talk less and listen more. And it really was great advice, because I think about it all the time. You get in a big social group and you see people with the need to just continue conversation and talk so much, and you just don't learn a whole lot by always having something to say. And if you sit back and just listen, when you do have the opportunity to say something, hopefully it matters a little bit more.